to episode 13 of On the Wild. I'm Anuj Basker, Riley Keenan, as always. Do we even need to introduce ourselves at this point?
Because if anything, it's the people we know that are watching, and if they're not, I don't think they care what our names are.
Facts. But yeah, it's mock draft season. We're gonna be doing our official mock draft today. Rocking the Falcons. Got the 4th overall pick, Deion Sanders. Have a funny story with him actually. He liked my photo on Instagram. It's not up anymore. It's archived. It's not the best picture. You're in it.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty fired up when I saw the like. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't even tag him at first, which is the funny part.
Yeah.
I tagged him like 2 days later. I was like, if he sees it, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then like 4 hours later, he liked it. And
Prime time.
Yeah, jumping up and down.
I would have freaked out.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so excited just because I was in it. But like, if I'm you, oh my God.
Yeah. It's archived, so I can still see it.
Yeah.
And see who liked it. So it's a cool little feature on IG.
Yeah.
But you were talking to me about something off air.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we had a 20-minute conversation before we started recording that we could have just easily had on air.
Exactly. We do that a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
Most episodes, right before, because I'll sit here ready to go to turn the thing on, and he'll be ready to record it.
Yeah.
And we'll just be talking about whatever we're thinking about. It's like, why don't we just sit in the chair and go rather than have this little conversation beforehand?
Yeah, it was a good 20 to 25 minutes that we were just going back and forth.
Yeah. But yeah, what I was talking about with Anuj and one of my buddies originally was there's been a lot of talk about Steph Curry, and I was watching First Take and how they're he's in the MVP running, he's a candidate. And there's so much talk about how he's the greatest shooter of all time, and yes, we know this. I don't think it's debatable at this point. It's not. We know he's the greatest shooter of all time.
Yeah.
And that's what they all focus on. And they don't talk about the other aspects of his game. And, he's debatably one of the, I think Kyrie Irving's probably the best ball handler of all time without Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
And then you can put Curry in the running.
I don't get why people are so afraid to say that.
Yeah.
I don't get it. A lot of people are like, oh, well, he's whatever. They come up with some excuse like, can you watch him play?
Yeah, he's watching Kyrie play against the Pelicans the other day. The guy was creating his own shot like it's nobody's business.
He's a better ball handler than I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and Curry's right up there. He's a very good passer. He's one of the best in the league. He's an underrated,
very underrated passer.
Yeah, he's an underrated defender. People act like the people just blow by him. They don't.
He puts in a lot of effort. I think we were talking about this with Trae Young. I forget what episode it was, but the difference between him and Steph Curry on defense is that Curry puts in a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And he's a good team defender.
And he's a smart player. He knows where to be.
Yeah.
Trae's going to grow into that eventually. But right now, he's not necessarily lazy, but he can't quite keep up with the offense that they're running.
Yeah, but Steph is very intelligent, and he's a good team defender. The Warriors have been the top defensive team in the NBA while he was on the team.
Yeah. So
that doesn't just happen. He's a good defender.
Yeah. And what I was going to ask you and what we were talking about originally was, we talked about the greatest scorers of all time, and MJ's up there, LeBron's up there,
Kobe.
KD's up there, Kobe, Curry's in the running, and we look at it and we say, yeah, KD's a better scorer than Curry. I think that's kind of firmly set in stone almost.
Yeah.
But in terms of offensive player, who's a better offensive player between Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant?
That's a harder question, and because here's the thing. When they played together, KD was obviously the better player.
Yeah.
But Steph was the most important player.
Yeah. In those finals, I don't know if it was 2017 or 2018, but KD drew 2 double teams. Curry had 40.
Yeah.
Curry was more important to their offense. And I think they know it, that they just can't stop KD. And Curry, they know all right, we need to neutralize him.
And Curry missed some time in that playoffs. I think it was the playoffs where they almost lost to the Rockets.
The Rockets, yeah.
He missed a couple games, or maybe in the year before. I don't remember, but they were struggling without him.
Mm-hmm.
They lost a couple games, so it really showed his value to the team. So that's why I'm kind of
it's tough. I mean, listen, you're not stopping KD. I think scoring wise, he's high and above. Not high and above better, but from the rest of the league, he is.
Yeah.
You can't stop him shooting. Getting to the basket, it's near impossible. But Curry, man, to create his own shot, it takes a lot more skill for him. And to be able to do it effortlessly, I think, and he's a better passer. Mm-hmm. He's a better ball handler.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say he's a better leader. When it's clutch.
He's a better leader.
In the clutch, it's tough. Who would you rather have the ball in their hands? I think you go with KD.
I'd say KD.
But it's close.
Yeah.
I think
It's closer than you would think.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why, but when people think offensive player, they automatically go to scoring.
yeah.
And nothing else.
There's a whole lot more to it.
There's a lot more.
Yeah,
to it.
and Curry, probably the best off-ball player we've ever seen. Like the way he's able to just get open and just sprint around out there, like it's like hockey when you're like got the puck and you're just going in circles and you finally take a shot. Like he can do it effortlessly and get open like it's
so versatility.
Yeah.
I think KD can do that too.
He can, but I think
you see it in Brooklyn. He doesn't have the ball a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they barely play together. We can talk about that too.
Yeah.
But I think KD, as a scorer, is a lot not better, but I'd rather have him just because of his size alone. Mm-hmm. He's just impossible to guard. But if we're talking like ball handling, passing, strictly shooting,
it's Curry.
I'd give it to Curry.
Yeah, that was a tough conversation. I mean, we'll see by the end of their career. I think we'll know.
Yeah.
But right now, it's pretty close, and it's a fun conversation.
I mean, I wouldn't complain with either. I'll take either. Like
exactly, either or. I'm totally fine with. It's tough. Like who would you're going into the NBA Finals? You need one of them.
I'll take KD.
I'm taking KD too. I think Kevin Durant's the second best player in basketball.
Yeah.
Like LeBron is so obviously number one. KD's number two, and I think when you get to number three, I think it gets hard.
Yeah, because you can go Giannis, Giannis hasn't had the playoff success.
Exactly. You can go Curry.
You can go, Curry.
Kawhi.
Harden,
yeah. There's a lot of guys. I think if I'm saying, definitively who I'd want going into the playoffs, LeBron's 1, KD 2. I think Kawhi 3. And then I'd probably take Curry 4. After that, I think it's a bit of a toss-up. Maybe Dame. He's probably the most clutch player in the league.
Dame. In the playoffs, after last year, maybe Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy Butler, man. What did he play? 46 minutes? It seemed like he was playing the entire game in those finals.
Yeah. Yeah. He's single-handedly, I don't want to say carried the Heat, but he was the reason they were in the finals.
Yeah.
He's so underrated. And you just look at where I think we've talked about Jimmy Butler before.
I think of Jimmy Butler.
I think it was the first episode, actually.
Yeah.
About how much we love Jimmy Butler. And if you guys want to go back and watch that, you guys can. But Jimmy Butler, everywhere he goes, he just wins.
Yeah.
So I want him on my team.
The perception of him has changed so much. Even in my own household, we'll watch a game and we're like, man, Jimmy, he's all right. And then as soon as he got to Miami, it's just no, this guy is a great leader, a phenomenal defender. He makes every team he's played on better. And I think the league has respected him since last year. Yeah,
and it's just a matter of who's around him. When he was in Minnesota, he had Cat and Wiggins.
Yeah.
We've seen what the Timberwolves have been since he left.
On their own, not too good.
Yeah. You've seen Philly. Obviously, they're great now.
A great team, but with him together, they were much better than they've ever been.
Replaced Tobias Harris, who's a great player, with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
On the Sixers, I'd pick them to go out. Get out of these.
I picked them. I almost see them coming out of these this year, if they can stay healthy. But with Jimmy Butler there, it's no doubt to me.
Yeah. And I think they'd beat Brooklyn healthy if they had Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. I agree. I think
it'd be a 6 or 7 game series. I'd pick Brooklyn though.
Yeah, Brooklyn, they're great. They got 3 superstars, but at the same time, they don't have much depth.
They haven't played together.
Yeah, they haven't gelled. They haven't gelled that much. And you can say, they have good chemistry, but it's they haven't played enough together.
They've only played 7 games together.
Yeah, as much as we've seen, James Harden's going to be the facilitator. Kyrie's going to have the ball in his hand to create his own shot, but at the end of the game, KD might have it.
That's easy to say, but you can't do it until you do it.
Think about it in the game. Let's say, Harden's got 20, Kyrie's got 30, and KD's got 25. Who's taking the last shot? You'd say you want KD, but Kyrie's having the best game. But Harden at the same time is hey, I just hit 2 threes in a row. It's who's getting the ball? And then you're going to have that little dilemma. And
obviously they'll say whoever's open, whoever has the best look. That's so easy to say.
Right.
But when you're put in the situation, it's hard.
And with those 3 guys, it's not really who's open. All 3 of them can create their own shot, no problem.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to get open.
Yeah.
So it's obviously who's going to be, playing the best that game. But I think it's really hard come playoff time. KD's going to go, I have 17 points tonight.
I can already see it. When it's crunch time, they're just going to take turns.
Yeah.
And we saw the Clippers do that last year, and it didn't work.
Exactly. Yeah, and with the Clippers, we saw they weren't able to adapt when they started facing pressure. The Nets scare me because I don't think they're going to be able to lock down defensively. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to be able to stop necessarily the other team's stars. I think they're going to be able to score no problem, but
outscoring players, outscoring teams only goes so far.
Exactly.
You can't.
Well, I remember the Super Bowl when the Seahawks and the Broncos were playing. It was offense versus defense, and you knew like the Broncos were the best offensive team in football. But if you can't defend, Seahawks need to do the bare minimum offensively, and if you can stop them, they're going to win the game.
And you saw it 2 years later when Denver won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
had no offense, but the best defense in the NFL. And
yeah, defense wins championships. It's true. I mean, when the Raptors won, they were able to lock down when they needed to.
Look, the Lakers last year, they were number one in defense.
Yeah. Switching gears now to completely contradicting ourselves there. We were talking about defense. It's all offense now with the NFL draft.
Yeah.
And the NFL, OTW's mock draft.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this?
Well, we said last week we were gonna alternate. So you get one. You get the even number.
Yeah,
the odd numbers.
Odd numbers.
I don't math. I don't math. I obviously don't English either. Yeah. You get the odd numbers. I get the even numbers.
All right.
So start off at number 1 overall pick.
Yeah. Well, kick us off here.
Jacksonville obviously going to take Kellen Mond out of Texas A&M.
Most likely. With the first pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars, which really should have been the New York Jets.
I wish I could put in the draft sound effect.
I'm thinking of the NBA one.
I think they're the same.
Oh, they are?
I think so.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So it should have been the Jets, but it's the Jaguars because they absolutely fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
They beat the Browns. We don't need to talk about it.
And the Rams.
Yeah, they beat the Rams too. Like what? I don't understand the decision making there, but whatever. Jacksonville gets the first overall pick. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gardner Minshew era is over. It's Trevor Lawrence time.
Trevor Lawrence.
6'6". What is he, like 215 pounds? The guy's a beast. He's got a crazy arm.
He's been penciled in as the number 1 pick since he was a senior in high school.
He could have gone top 3 last year.
He could have went out as a freshman and win the number 1 pick.
Yeah. So he's undoubtedly going number 1.
He's kind of sus though, because
Really?
did you see that Sports Illustrated
No.
interview? He said, I don't have a problem with what he said. He said he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder, which he shouldn't.
Yeah.
He's been the number 1 guy for so long. He shouldn't have a chip on his shoulder. But his high school coach, I don't know if this is the whole quote or what, but he said, Trevor Lawrence could walk away from football tomorrow and be content. Basically, that's what he said.
So kind of like Anthony Edwards with basketball.
Yeah, or Andrew Luck when he came into the NFL.
See, here's the thing.
There's a lot of parallels between him and Luck.
It's not necessarily bad on his part because at the end of the day, it's his decision and what he wants to do with his career. But if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars and you're putting money into this guy, you're putting your first overall pick into this guy, you want to know that he's going to stick around and he's going to play out his career.
I think he will.
I think he will too.
It's just kind of... It's
weird. It's not what you want to hear if you're management.
Exactly.
Or a fan base.
Yeah.
Realistically.
And it worked out for Luck, and obviously his career got cut short because of injuries mostly. But Anthony Edwards, he's great.
Yeah. He's been popping off recently.
So he'll be fine. I think he'll be really good.
Yeah. He'll be... I don't know.
His coach is kind of weird, though. Dabo Sweeney.
Yeah.
Comparing him to Steph Curry. I don't
really get that comparison.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to revolutionize football.
No, he's not going to revolutionize football.
That's more like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and at this point in time, Steph Curry wasn't a number 1 pick guy. Yeah. He wasn't noted as the guy that's going to change anything.
Yeah, I don't think Trevor Lawrence is.
No, he's going to
revolutionize, but he's going to be really good.
He's going to play good football, and he's going to be a good player.
Yeah,
I think.
I think so.
Yeah, moving on to the New York Jets, number 2.
Now, this mock draft is what we think is going to happen, but also like what we think should happen.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't take this player at number 2 overall. I would take a different quarterback, but with the number 2 pick in the OTW NFL draft of 2021, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson. BYU quarterback. I wouldn't take it, but
yeah, he kind of came out of nowhere for me. Like
he's like Trubisky. I'm not saying he's going to be Trubisky, but he's giving me Trubisky vibes.
Yeah, he's like, people say he can be up there with the best, but at the same time, you really watch him play. I don't know if he can take over a team and be that guy.
Yeah, and we'll get to that quarterback later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But, Zach Wilson, he has a lot of talent, but I don't know.
Even like throwing outside the numbers, I've watched a lot too. He's kind of struggled with it, like kind of being accurate on those throws. And in the NFL, and surely enough for the Jets, you got to know that you're going to have to throw outside the numbers a lot.
Yeah. He's just, like what you said, he just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like how
it kind of seemed like, oh yeah, he's going first round, and the next day it's like, all right, he's top 5.
How did he become the second best quarterback without playing any games?
Right?
Since
it's a little weird.
Yeah. Very weird.
It'll be an experiment. I don't think. I guess they traded Darnold, so they're going all out for him. I guess
he's gonna be the starter.
Yeah.
Day 1.
All right. Well, number 3, the 49ers traded up for the 3rd pick.
12.
Initially,
a lot.
Initially, we thought the draft that we were doing was going to be pretty straightforward the way we picked everything. Kind of going in, we didn't really have a plan, but we kind of knew, like, all right,
like every single episode, we don't have a plan.
Yeah, we don't really have a plan, but we kind of had an idea of where everyone's going to go. That is all changed because I've switched up my pick. Initially, I was going to go with Justin Fields at number 3. I'm going to go Trey Lance.
Really?
They talked about it. He's been working with, what's his name? John Beck. John Beck, yeah. And he's got ties to Shanahan, so it kind of works out there. Lance seems like he's more ready to play right now, and the 49ers need a quarterback that can play right now. Obviously, they're going to have Garoppolo, and they'll have a bit of a battle, but I think they've kind of moved off from Garoppolo a bit. Like, he's not going to be able to get it done.
I think he's a bridge guy. He's going to play this year, and they'll get rid of him next year.
Exactly. I think Lance is the guy that's ready to go in and perform.
He has the highest ceiling out of all the quarterbacks, I think. It's just there just isn't enough tape on him because he didn't play last year. Because I don't know if he opted out or his league just didn't have enough money. I don't know. But the year he did play, 28 passing touchdowns, 14 rushing touchdowns, no turnovers.
Yeah.
So he definitely has all the talent. 100%. Give him a year to develop under Shanahan. I think he'll be really good.
Yeah. I think they could pick Justin Fields. I think the reason I picked Lance is I think they're going to pick Lance. And with Fields, the one thing I talked about it before, I noticed a lot about the tape on him. He loves to throw to that first option.
That's funny. 'Cause I saw something like a week ago when targeting their second read, he was the best quarterback in college.
Really? Yeah. So he just needs to do it more.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like so much of the time I've seen, like he'll look at that one guy, there'll be double teams, and he'll still make that throw.
Yeah.
It's like you look across field, you're going to find a guy wide open. And if you put him in that situation with Shanahan, he could be the best quarterback in this class.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you have like the obvious marketing and branding, the Trey area.
Yeah.
That's not me. Shout out to Thomas Pockerney.
Yeah, Pock.
Yeah, from the Nosebleed podcast. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Trey area.
It's a tough one. I think that pick is really hard to make, but I think it'll be Lance.
That pick decides the rest of the draft, at least for me.
Yeah.
That's the most important pick of the draft.
For sure.
Who the Niners are going to take.
Because the Falcons pick changes big time, and you'll see it in a second here.
Yeah. Your 49ers pick completely, basically
shifted the draft.
Yeah. Because if you took Fields at 3, I was gonna take Pitts.
Yeah. Pitts is debatably the best player in the draft.
I think Pitts is the best player in the draft.
Yeah.
He's better what he does than anybody else is at their position.
Yeah. He's high and above the best at his position.
He's the best tight end I've ever seen.
Yeah. Wow.
Come out.
I mean, yeah, makes sense. Out of the draft, yeah.
He's 6'6", has like a 7 foot wingspan. Mm-hmm. He runs a 4.4.
It's absurd.
And putting him with Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley is very, very tempting.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm gonna take Justin Fields at 4.
I think that's a good
Falcons
pick too.
select Justin Fields at 4 overall. You know how much I love Justin Fields.
Yeah.
I've been a Justin Fields fan since he was in high school.
Yeah.
I was in like 10th grade.
Oh, dude! I remember in class we'd have those little Chromebooks, and I'd be watching I'd watch like Sidney Crosby compilation videos, and this guy's over here watching Justin Fields play in high school, and he's like, "This guy's the next Cam Newton, man."
Yeah, Harrison High School.
Yeah,
in Atlanta.
And I'm like, I was sitting there like, all right, like he seems pretty good, and then ever since the years gone on, it's like, wow, and yours was right. Like this guy's
yeah. I don't know who they're comparing him to, but I feel like Cam Newton's the obvious comparison.
It's obvious because he's a good running quarterback, but I think that's not the.
He's a better thrower though.
Yeah, he's a much better thrower. I think he'll be better than Cam Newton too. I don't know if he'll ever win an MVP. We don't really know, but I think in terms of longevity and consistency, I think Fields will be better.
Yeah, and you sit him for a year or two behind Matt Ryan.
He's going to learn a lot in that system.
Yeah, Arthur Smith's system. It's gonna fit perfectly. Atlanta's a team that always surrounds their quarterbacks with great talent, so he wouldn't have to worry about that. Defense has always been the issue with them, but hopefully they can figure that out. But I think Justin Fields, he's from Atlanta. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd love it. A Justin Fields jersey would be mine the day after he gets drafted. Justin Fields to Atlanta.
Yeah, works. All right, and to number 5, we got Miami's on the clock. Another team that traded back. They originally had 3rd pick, right?
5th is Cincinnati.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. 5th is Cincinnati. 6th is Miami.
Yeah.
5th is Cincinnati, and this is the pick where it's tough because a lot of people are talking about how they can get a receiver. They can go out and get Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
I think it makes the most sense to go Penei Sewell. He's generational talent. They haven't talked about an offensive lineman like this in a while. He seems like, I mean, kind of like Quentin Nelson, I guess, but he could be even better than that.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're different.
I think
position.
Quentin Nelson was like, people were saying he was a Hall of Fame lock.
They were saying he's a Hall of Fame lock, but it's like, it just, for that draft, it didn't make sense for him to go high, and it's kind of the same with this one.
He went sixth.
He went sixth, yeah. Like, phew.
To Indy.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Penei Sewell's the right pick. We saw it this year. I mean, Joe Burrow got hurt the same way. We knew it almost looked like he was going to get hurt. It was destined to get hurt the way he was being pressured all season. You know, he had to develop a sliding technique because he didn't know how to do it. I mean, at LSU, you put me in LSU quarterback, I'm throwing at least 5 touchdowns. Like they're
5.
They're wide open. But yeah, like he's established himself as a good quarterback. But they need a guy that can stop.
Think about
the
what
pressure.
he played with at LSU. He had Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase, like.
And Terrence
Crazy.
Marshall is going to be a first-round pick, too.
Yeah.
First-round pick.
Just like Mac, yeah, and then you got Mac Jones, who the weapons he had, insane.
Yeah, we'll get to them in a minute.
But yeah, I got to go with Penei Sewell here. I think he's the right pick for the Bengals.
He's the right pick. I don't think that's who they're going to pick. I think they're going to take Chase.
You think they're going to take Chase?
But they should take Sewell.
Yeah, I think they. I don't know. I think it's like a 50-50 for me. What I think they'll do, but what I think they should do is Sewell 100%.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on to Miami at 6. They finessed this draft.
Oh, yeah.
Trading back to 12, then trading back up, and they gained like a first-round pick. They are stacked up with picks the next couple years. But at 6th overall, I think you have 2 options here. Take Chase or take Pitts. I think Pitts, he's just everything. He's listed as a tight end, but he can do everything. You can split him out wide. He can do anything you want. And I saw a stat. He had 34 red zone targets, and he didn't drop a pass.
Yeah. The guy's got massive hands.
He'd be perfect for Tua. Just throw it in his vicinity.
Yeah.
He's going to come down with it. So Miami selects Kyle Pitts, 6th overall.
That's a good pick. I like that a lot. Yeah. It's tough because initially, I mean, we thought Pitts was going to go 4 to Atlanta, and he falls all the way to 6.
Yeah, because I thought you were going to take Fields at 3.
Yeah.
So I was going to take Pitts at 4. But
yeah. Well, I just accidentally FaceTimed Couve. My bad. He's mad. He's going, what? Okay, but yeah, at number 7, we have Detroit.
No.
This one initially, I was going wide receiver, and I was thinking Waddle. Because I thought Chase was going to go higher, but now that they're still there, I got to go Jamar Chase. He looks like the right pick. He's the best wide receiver in this class.
I think it's by far.
I think it's by far, too. The Waddle and Smith comparisons are very close. I think they're both really good, but Jamar Chase just seems like
People just forgot because he didn't play last year.
Yeah.
But he was insane.
Yeah. I think he's going to make an instant impact. Yeah. Like, he's going to be great for that team. And, I mean, Goff's their quarterback now.
He gives me Odell vibes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just better in college.
And Goff never really had a great receiver in Los Angeles.
I mean, he had
good, like Kupp and Cooks. They were good. They were like kind of like.
I think Jamar Chase could be a superstar.
Yeah, absolutely. He can come in this year and be like a Justin Jefferson and just rack up the yards.
He's better than Justin Jefferson.
I think so too. Yeah. Jefferson came out. He didn't come out of nowhere, but he really played exceptional, and
he was the rookie receiver. Yard record.
He was above expectations easily. But Chase, I think, is like people are talking about him like he's going to be a top 5 receiver in the league,
and I believe him.
Yeah,
his comparisons are really weird. I saw somebody compare him to Julio Jones.
I don't know about that.
He's
hard to compare.
Because comparisons have to be physical.
Yeah,
that's another thing. DK Metcalf getting compared to Calvin Johnson isn't because he's Calvin Johnson. It's just the physical.
Yeah, the physical aspect of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like comparing him is like comparing like someone to Mahomes. It's like you can't really do that. Mahomes was not expected to be this good.
Compare Zach Wilson to Mahomes.
I
feel bad for the dude.
Yeah, that's a tough. That's like LeBron when he was coming in the NBA. Like that's way too much to put on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Difference is LeBron can handle that. I don't know if Zach Wilson can. Obviously, we'll see. I'm really excited. I think this is one of the most exciting draft classes we've had in a while.
Yeah.
In terms of just, you really don't know who's going to be the guy to come out and be like Lawrence seems like the number 1, but there's a lot of other guys, Fields, Lance, Jones, that are all right there.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised in 5 years that if Trey Lance is the best quarterback out of all of them.
I could absolutely see. And he's going into the best system right now. The 49ers are ready to compete.
Yeah.
They got a great defense. Ayuk is great. Samuel's great. They got a good running game. Great coaching.
Good offensive line.
Yeah. It's going to look really good in San Francisco right now.
Yeah. Moving on to 8.
Carolina.
Division rival of my favorite team. I'm taking Devontae Smith.
Interesting.
Because they just lost Curtis Samuel to Washington.
Yeah.
I think you just surround Sam Darnold with as much talent as you can.
Yeah.
and see what he is.
I saw a lot about Slater being the guy
Sean
there,
Slater,
but
tackle.
I can see Smith because
I could see him taking Slater too, but those are actually my two. I was thinking Slater or Smith, but I'm taking Smith. I don't know why he's dropping. I think Jamar Chase is by far the number one receiver, but I don't think people are too concerned about Devontae Smith's weight.
Yeah, like, come on. Like, look at Tyreek Hill. He's a small guy.
If he can play, he can play.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple as that.
I don't like, obviously, when you see a guy that's big, you can say, oh, this guy's massive. Like, Lawrence, 6'6", 215. He's a beast. But when a guy's smaller, I don't really, like, height doesn't measure heart. Like, that's what Marcus Stroman always says. And it's true. Like, you could be the shortest guy out there, but if you're making an impact, I don't care how tall you are.
Exactly.
So I think it's a little unfair to compare him there.
Yeah.
I'm interested because a lot of people, and me personally, I think Waddle will be better than Smith. It's really tough and it's really close. One of the comparisons I saw was that Waddle is kind of like a DeAndre Hopkins, whereas Smith is like a Tyreek Hill.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
I'd say all the comparisons I see is Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison, yeah.
And it makes sense. He's a smaller, leaner dude, but he can run routes really well. Great hands. I think Marvin Harrison is like the perfect comparison for Devontae Smith.
I can't wait because like those two, I feel like they're going to be linked for their careers.
Yeah,
if they can both be successful.
Alabama receivers are always linked.
Yeah, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be super competitive, and when they
I don't
play
think
each
he's
other,
going to be bad. I mean, just look at the pattern. You have Julio Jones, Ridley, Amari Cooper, Judy, who I think is going to be good. He has a dropping issue, but he'll be fine. But Alabama receivers are really good.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad pick.
They have a great structure, so they're already coming into the league like professional. Like they're ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yeah. And then moving on to number 9, the Denver Broncos. This was the one I had a lot of trouble with. Because initially I was thinking I'm going to go Trey Lance here because I was going to go Fields at 3, and then I thought, okay, Lance.
Also, preface this, we're doing no trades. So,
no trades.
So, like, if Trey Lance somehow were to drop to 7 to, like, Detroit, I'm sure a team would come up and get him, but we're not doing trades. Yeah. Like, it's just so hard to predict.
Yeah, we could see New England swooping in and getting a pick.
England, Washington.
Yeah, a lot of teams can make trades, but yeah, it's a little too hard to predict that.
Yeah, so we're just doing no trades.
Yeah, and at number 9, initially, I was thinking Lance, and then now I'm kind of I was thinking if I'm not going Lance, I'm going Parsons because they had a huge linebacker problem last year, and Parsons is a great fit. He's so good. Like, he's so good.
He ran like a 4.3.
Yeah, the guy's nuts.
Then again, everybody ran a 4.3 this year.
Yeah, it seemed like everyone's so fast nowadays. It's crazy.
Also, it was just because it was pro days.
Yeah, true.
There was no combine.
Yeah, but I'm settling with Mac Jones here. I think he's the right pick. Settling. Like, he's going to be a really good player.
I think he's going to be good.
I think in terms of what I think they should do, I think Mac Jones is the right decision. I'm worried that Denver might stick with Locke and think, hey, let's go get Parsons, maybe even a receiver. I really hope they don't go for a receiver here. But I think Mac Jones is the right pick. He's ready to go.
Locke just isn't it.
He's not.
Like, people were like, oh, well, he was only in his second year. But he made no progression from year 1 to year 2. He was the exact same player.
Yeah.
So I'm done with him. I'm done
for sure. I agree.
I think Mac Jones has the highest floor. If that makes sense.
For sure. He's like the one that he's almost like guaranteed to be good.
He's the safest pick.
Yeah.
He's going to be like Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, Matt Ryan was an MVP.
I mean, he was MVP. Went to the Super Bowl.
I'll lean more to Kirk Cousins, but
yeah.
Just like a good quarterback, which is, I think, all that Denver needs.
Yeah.
They're a quarterback away from being a pretty good team, I think.
I agree.
Moving on to pick number 10, got the Dallas Cowboys,
Yep.
my dad's favorite team. Shout out to them. Kinda. I don't really like the Cowboys.
Yeah. America's team.
Yeah. But for this pick, I feel like this is like the consensus pick around every single mock draft that I've seen.
I looked at quite a few mock drafts, and this was in every single one.
Patrick Surtain, from Alabama, corner.
It seems like the right pick. It fits them perfectly. Their defense was abysmal last year.
Yeah, they have Trayvon Diggs. They got from Alabama last year, so they have that tie. They play with each other. And he's the best corner in the draft. Yeah. He's really good. His dad played. His dad was an All-Pro, I think.
Yeah.
With Miami. But yeah, I think he's really good. He's really good. He's technically sound.
Mm-hmm.
People have concerns about like his long speed, which I don't think is be a deal. He ran a 4.4.
Yeah, he seems okay with that.
I think he's gonna be really good man-to-man coverage. It just makes sense.
Yeah, it just seems like it fits so well.
I'm trying to explain it, but it just makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think the Cowboys are one of those teams where it's like they're hardly a 10 seed. They should have been in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They would have been if Dak didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
Their defense was struggling. Their secondary had a huge problem. And with Surtain in the mix, they're going to be a lot better. They're going to be able to grow. I think Dallas will be a good team. I think they'll be the best team in the NFC East this year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be them or Washington.
Yeah.
Depending on which Fitzpatrick shows
like,
up.
Washington has a much better defense. They have a great defense. But
they have a better... If you were to take the quarterbacks away... Washington has by far the better roster.
Yeah. But you put Dak in there with the weapons he's got, it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So, it should be really interesting.
I think McLaurin and Curtis Samuel, though, is going to be very, very entertaining.
McLaurin is really good. He's just so exciting to watch, and he seems like such a great guy. Like, the way he was talking to Heineke, like, in that game. Like, he just seems so happy for him. It's like, that's a guy you want on your team.
And McLaurin and Samuel played together in college, too. So they have that tie. They're both Blazers. They're very, very fast.
Oh, yeah. Friggin'. Man, I wonder what do you think you'd run in a...
I ran 140 in grade 9. I ran it with full pads.
Oh.
And I didn't get to know my time.
Oh, what?
So I don't even know what I ran.
What's the point?
It was just to gauge who the fastest person on the team was.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't get to know my time, which I didn't like.
I don't know about you, but quick running, not my thing.
I wouldn't. I don't even know what I'd run, but it'd be slow.
Yeah, I remember in elementary school, we would have like those events to like go to track and field.
Yeah.
And you'd do like 100, 200. I wouldn't even do the 100 or 200. Like, they'd be like, Riley, everyone's supposed to do it. I'm like, I'm not going to, like, come on.
Yeah.
I can't run fast. I would just do 400, 800, 1500.
Yeah.
Long distance, like cross country, I can do. Like, my stamina's good, but quick, I'm nowhere near quick.
Yeah. I didn't make the tryouts for anything. I was a slow kid. I still am today.
Yeah.
I've just never been fast.
Yeah. I remember, like, my baseball coaches, like, when I get on first, like, I'm not stealing. Like, I'm not, they're like, hey, you're not going. Like, unless that ball is getting to the backstop, you're not even running.
Yeah, my stamina isn't bad, but back in elementary school, I was a bigger kid. So I just couldn't do it. But even today, if I were to run a 40, if I were to guess, somewhere in the 5s. I don't know. I don't actually know.
Yeah, I don't either. I would love to try. But then I just embarrass myself.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It's kind of like bench press. It's like, I could go for a PR, but
do I really
could also
want to
dislocate my shoulder? Like, I'll just let it be.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the things I want to talk about, because we kind of finished up the mock draft there. Big event happened last weekend. I watched.
Big.
You watched. Yeah, big. Jake Paul versus Ben Askren, and my goodness, did Jake Paul knock him out?
It's a joke.
Yeah. A lot of people were complaining. They're like, oh, the ref kind of blew it. But if you watch it there, like, he got up and the ref asked him to walk to him and he like stumbled a bit. So it made sense for him to call off the fight.
It was fixed or rigged.
Yeah. I'm kind of 50-50 on that, because I could absolutely see it be rigged. Because when you watch Askren walk back to the locker room, he has a smile on his face, like he's holding his wife. Like, he's getting
fine.
Yeah, he's getting a bag. Like, he doesn't really care. He had a good, was he like 19-2 in the UFC? One of the reasons I thought it was...
I think he's only had a couple fights in the UFC.
Oh, really? Or I guess just MMA in total, he was like 19-2. But the one reason I thought it was fake is because I watched back. He fought Robbie Lawler, I think it was.
Robbie Lawler can knock you out.
Yeah.
Like, second.
I'm not huge on UFC, but I've seen like some of the bigger fights. In that fight, Lawler's got him on the ground, and he's just hammering away at him. And Askren's staying in it. He's taking the punches like it's nothing. And he eventually flips him, and I think he like flipped him over, and then he like choked him out like this. And I'm like, he just took a beating from this beast and ended up winning. And he takes 2 punches from Jake Paul and gets knocked down.
That's what I'm saying. That's what makes me kind of think,
yeah.
Like, was it rigged?
And it's no disrespect to Jake Paul. Here's the thing. Jake Paul has, in my opinion, he's got credibility now. I don't think he should be. Here's the thing. I don't like him going for Conor McGregor or going for these juggernauts. You don't, like Daniel Cormier said, why can he fight me? He doesn't deserve to fight me. That's
what I said. Like, Conor McGregor shouldn't fight Jake Paul.
He doesn't win. The only thing he gets from that is
lose-lose for him.
Unless he knocks him out, he doesn't get anything.
The only thing he gets is a bag.
Exactly.
Which he doesn't need.
He doesn't need it. Yeah. Like Askren,
he can just go fight Pacquiao or something.
Yeah. I think right now, Dennis is going to be the fight he has. Dylan Dennis. He had a bit of beef with like him and his girlfriend. That's the fight I want to see because Danis doesn't take crap from anybody, and he seems like he genuinely hates Jake Paul. Like Ben Askren knew he was a bit of a prick, but like Danis wants to kill him.
I never thought Askren even had a chance. I watched this video of him punching, and he like punches like.
That was the thing. I think
I'm not trying to make fun of him. Obviously, he's an Olympic wrestler. He would literally flip me upside down and kill me. But he doesn't know how to punch.
Yeah, that was one thing though. I watched Impulsive, and he had both Ben and he had Jake on the next episode. And I think the Ben punching was a publicity stunt. I think it was like to make Jake think that this guy's got nothing in the tank. Like he's not going to be able to do anything.
But I see it in fights, like actual UFC.
Yeah,
fights.
it doesn't seem, he's not like technically, he looks a bit dorky out there, but he's a guy that's like, if he gets you, you're done.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I think if it's an MMA fight, it's over for Jake. But in boxing, I think when it comes to stamina and just pure accuracy and being like technical with it, he's gonna lose.
I think Jake Paul should stay in like the entertaining range.
Yeah.
Until he gets enough credibility, like a few more fights.
The thing I don't like is that people are saying, "Oh, well, you know what? They're acting like it means nothing that he knocked out Ben." I still think like Ben was an Olympian. He's a guy that fought in the UFC, he fought in Bellator, and he won. He's a champion. Knocking him out means something. Knocking out Nate, knocking out Deji, that didn't mean anything. Knocking out a real fighter means this guy is going to be legit. And he's only like 23 years old. So he's got room to grow. That being said, I absolutely hate Jake Paul. Pete Davidson was my favorite part of the show. And if you watched that, like you even said, it was a joke.
The whole production as a whole, like there was one point where they just didn't turn the person who's saying the national anthem, they forgot to turn her mic on.
Yeah.
So she was just like, I felt bad for her because it was just like her limp syncing the national anthem or whatever.
Yeah, there was so much awkwardness. Like when they announced
a lot of awkwardness. The announcers were bad.
Oh, they weren't real announcers.
Not like the announcers, the commentators.
The commentators, yeah, they were just one of the guys was just babbling like about the most random stuff.
If this is an entertainment thing, just let Snoop Dogg and Pete Davidson.
Yeah, literally. And even Ben Askren said it. Like my kids aren't watching this. Like look at what's going on out here tonight. This is not for kids. Like this is a Triller event. You got TikTokers here. TikTokers fan base is kids. For the most part, and you have all this craziness rated R stuff going on. I thought it was a little bit crazy.
Yeah, I would have had Snoop and Pete Davidson run. Even if they wouldn't have done like a good job, like technically.
No, but it would have been entertaining.
It would have been entertaining.
I mean, when they were talking, like my favorite part of the show is right after he knocked him out, because Pete went into both locker rooms, had the interviews, and he made it pretty clear to Ben that everyone wanted him to win, even though he was supposed to be unbiased. That interview was hilarious.
Yeah.
But as soon as Ben got knocked out, like Pete just said, like I think they turned his mic off because I guess he was like swearing too much or something. But he was like, I guess he's never been hit by a YouTuber before. That like killed me. Like the fact that this guy's been punched by like some of the best fighters in the world, and Jake Paul was able to knock him out. That's just embarrassing.
We got other events coming up. I saw this morning that Mayweather and Logan Paul is scheduled for like June 5th.
Listen, that fight.
My respect for Mayweather has gone way down.
Yeah, I just like
why
you have so much money and you have an unbelievable record.
You're like 51.
You don't need that fight.
You don't.
And think about it. Like, say Logan's bigger. Logan's like how tall is Floyd? 5'8", 5'9",
something like that.
Logan's like 6'2".
The restrictions are Floyd can't go past 160, which is easy for him.
Yeah.
I think he fights at like 150, 155. And Logan Paul can't go past 190.
190. See, that's the thing. Like, Floyd Mayweather's a better fighter than Logan.
Obviously.
But in terms of just pure height and strength, and Logan's going to have knockout power. If Jake has knockout power, Logan has knockout power. But I just don't think he can catch Floyd.
I give him like a negative 2% chance of beating Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, like
Mayweather's just gonna play with him.
Yeah, Mayweather's gonna play with him, and I don't think Logan's gonna connect very much. Like he might get 3-4 licks in, but Floyd's gonna be so quick, and I think it'll be more just like energy draining. I think it could go all rounds.
He toyed with Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I don't think
McGregor's bigger than him.
I think it'll end up being a decision because I don't think Floyd is gonna want to get too close.
Is it 6 rounds?
I think it's 6. Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that. But Floyd will win.
Floyd. I really hope he does, or else that like credibility for Floyd is gone bad.
It's gone.
Your first ever loss is to Logan Paul, who is 0-1-1, losing to KSI. Was this like big fight? So like, there's not much back in him. So if he loses that, Logan can do whatever. Yeah,
he won't.
He won't. But could you imagine he wins? Like, Logan could do whatever he wants. Like, you can't talk trash to him. He beat Floyd Mayweather. But the thing, the problem is, there's always an excuse for everything, it seems like. Everyone says, oh, Jake won't knock him out, knocks him out. Oh, it was fake. Like, at the end of the day, I don't think it was fake. I really don't, because I don't think Ben is the type of guy.
People just do that, even in professional sports.
Yeah. It's kind of annoying.
Like a team wins a title.
Yeah.
The Lakers win a title. It's a Mickey Mouse reign.
Yeah. I think Jake deserves some respect in his boxing go, but I think you could still hate him all you want. You could think he's a prick. Yeah. But he deserves some respect. I think he's a credible... He may not be a credible boxer, but he's a credible fighter. Like, he can go. And I think he deserves a bit of respect. But I don't think he should be fighting the McGregors of the world. And even Dana White said it. How about you fight a boxer? How about you stop fighting MMA fighters, YouTubers, and TikTokers? How about you fight a boxer? And then you'll really see how
That's a good point. I saw something. Boxers win boxing fights, and MMA fighters win MMA fights.
Exactly.
You can't crisscross.
Like, everyone knew that Mayweather was going to beat McGregor.
Yeah.
That fight was a showcase of Showtime. Like, it was not supposed to be this great fight. You knew who was going to win.
It was, though. Like, it was very entertaining. But
and vice versa.
I never had a doubt that Mayweather was.
Exactly. Mayweather's going to win that fight. You go to the UFC, McGregor's going to kill him. Like, it's
literally 5 seconds.
Exactly. It's like common sense. You know your role, know where you are at best. And I think at some point or another, I think Jake will fight Danis. If he wins that, which I highly doubt he will, there's no way I see Danis losing that. Because he's fit, he's young.
I don't even know who he is.
I just know that he hates Jake, and he's got a ton of beef with him. There's no way he's losing that fight. But if... heaven forbid Jake wins, he needs to fight a boxer to be completely credible.
Yeah.
But I think he deserves some respect.
That's facts. I think that's a good
it's a good way to end off.
To wrap up. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below. We'll see y'all next week. Take it easy.
Stay well.
Peace.